day to you. Hope everybody's having a good day today. We have had 3 Art Start lessons before today, and now we are on Art Start number 4. You might ask me, why do you call it Art Start? Because when I give you your information and your talk and share with you about famous works and artists, hopefully it will start your brain. It'll click your brain into gear and get you inspired to do your own piece of art. I like this book, and it was given to me by a good friend, and it's written by children. It was at the Scholastic Book Fair, and it's called White Tails and Other White Tales. Say tails, T-A-I-L-S. That's like a tail on a bird or an animal. And tales, T-A-L-E-S, that's like a story. So those words are spelled alike. Not spelled alike, but they sound alike. Okay? As you see, I've got some patterns here that you might be able to use after a while. So I'm going to start. I'm going to read the back first. It says, these are the authors. These are children, and they worked together in their class at Longfellow School to put together this book. So you too can be a writer and an artist. I like the front because you see this beautiful bird with all of the white coming out. And it has texture to it because the whites, you're going to cut them out and make them beautiful. Written and illustrated by the 2nd grade students of Longfellow Elementary School. And it asked us, and they dedicated it to their principal. It says, do you ever see in the woods or the zoo a completely white creature that really surprised you? Some poor animals are born without color, which leaves them unlike any other. With no pigments, albinos are white and rare, adapting to a life with special care. One time I had a friend that was an albino, and she was so white that she had to be careful. She couldn't even go out in the sun without totally covering all of her body. An albino baby koala hugs her mama tight while her white fur stands out right in the pale sight. In the deep green woods lives a white-tailed deer. This spotted animal blends in with little fear. See, because this one is camouflaged and this one is very, very white. Albino is a good word for today. An albino deer can blend in with the snow except for his antlers. You'd hardly know. Besides the green garden stands a proud peacock. This colorful bird shows off quite a lot. Look at that peacock. That is beautiful. That would be a really fun piece of art to do. A partial albino peacock has no bright colors, making him boring to all of the others. Let's look at the difference. Look at this albino peacock. And look at this peacock. Very, very colorful. In the hot Australian sun hops a mother kangaroo. This strong marsupial carries around a joey too. You know what a joey is, right? There's the joey, the little baby kangaroo. I saw a joey last summer when I was at a zoo, inside the mama's pouch. An albino kangaroo can burn in the sun. His pale skin makes desert life no fun. Inside a garbage can digs a curious masked raccoon. This nocturnal hunter sneaks around under the moon. So look at him. He kind of is blending in with the trash can. And look at this white albino kangaroo. They're beautiful pictures. An albino raccoon has poor eyesight, which makes hunting hard during the dark night. Up high in an old pine tree perches a dark black crow. This smart animal can put on a loud show. I like that. Look at the bird. It's a black crow. And look at all the limbs and things around him. That's a very cool piece of art. An albino crow can't find a mate at all, even with his echoing caw, caw. Under the murky swamp water lurks a hungry alligator. This fierce predator likes to eat sooner than later. We live in Florida, so we see a lot of alligators. They still are quite scary, aren't they? Look at this one. They showed this one. I like the way they did this. Just part of him. and they show these weeds, which are called cattails. And they put these circles on it to give the picture a little bit more texture. An albino alligator cannot hide. It's hard to catch food, no matter how hard he tries. Now, I'll be honest with you, I have never seen an albino alligator, but I would like to, because I think it would be very cool looking. On a cool night's sand crawls a sea turtle just hatched. This young reptile must hurry before he gets snatched. And we know about sea turtles, don't we? A lot of times we see pictures of them on the beaches, and when the eggs hatch and they have to get down to the water very, very quickly, or a predator will get them and eat them before they're able to get from the land to the water. An albino turtle stands out in the dark, an easy snack for a bird or a shark. See the albino turtle? See, they stand out, don't they? So their life might be harder than one that has color. Near an old brown tree sits a pointy porcupine. This spiny animal has quills, long and fine. Look at the porcupine. That's a cool picture. An albino porcupine, though, is an easy mark, sitting still and clawing on rough tree bark. In habitats worldwide, both cold and hot, albino animals survive with what they've got. Whether fur or feather, whenever animals are together, creatures that are all white are always an interesting sight. There's an albino right there. And then it gives you some fun facts. Melanin is a pigment that makes color in your skin, your hair, and your eyes. But albinos are born with no pigment. They have white fur, feathers, scales, or skin. Remember I told you about my friend earlier that was an albino? She had pink eyes. They were actually very pretty, but there was no pigment. Like my eyes are blue, and it has blue pigment in there. She had no pigment in her eyes, and so that is why they were so delicate, and you could not go out and look up around in the sun because it would really, really hurt. Not all white animals are albinos. You look at the animal's eyes. The eyes are pink, red, or even blue. Cold-blooded albino animals like alligators and snakes need the sun for warmth, but the sun is dangerous to their delicate skin. Albino snakes and alligators are really rare. There are only about 30 albino alligators that exist in the world. That's why I've never seen one, because they are so rare. People can have albino animals like rabbits, hedgehogs, hamsters. They can all be pets. And zookeepers in Australia have to put sunscreen on albino kangaroos. Now that is pretty funny. You could say, come here kangaroo, I got to put on your suntan lotion, and they rub it on them. Pretty interesting. But if you look at some of the pictures, they're very cool. You'll see some of the art. Somebody's making a peacock, somebody is making one of the black crow, and somebody's making one of the beautiful white-tailed bird. So I hope you enjoyed that. Here's some more. A lot of children doing the artwork. They did the cutting out. Some of them are doing the sea turtles. Some are doing the cobra, the albino cobra. Now that would be scary to see. Okay, and this one's just doing one with the lily pads and the peacock. Here's another one. This one's doing a bird, making the bird. And then this one is making the frogs. It's all kind of animals that you can make. So I hope you enjoyed that book, because I really did enjoy it. And I was thinking earlier about what kind of little lesson I could tell you before we turn this video off. But I want to let you know that not everybody is going to be just like you. We have all kinds of people in the world. We have all kinds of cultures, and we have all kinds of different interests that people have. But just because somebody is not just like you doesn't mean that you're not going to accept them and care about them for who they are. The little girl that I was telling you about that was an albino, I remember some people made fun of her. But I became her friend because I did not like other people criticizing her because she was born with very, very white skin and pink eyes. She was different. But sometimes we embrace the ways that we're different, and then we become friends just because we like each other. So remember that before you make fun of somebody else that is different than you, think about how that would make that person feel and see if you can be the kindest person that you can be. I hope you have a great day, and I hope you enjoy this lesson.